Okay, great. Let's get started. Um, I've got some questions that were submitted for today's event. If you have some on the fly, I would be glad to answer those. And for those of you that are newbies here, this is Brian Tarian from the Disability Digest. Really appreciate you joining today. Um, Today's event, I'm going to talk about doctor support. Whether you're on disability or you're going through the disability approval process, there's some new information that's been released that actually just went out this week about doctor support and how it can help you get and keep your benefits. So I'm going to talk about that. But there were some questions in advance that were submitted that I wanted to spend some time on and get those addressed first. So first of all, there's some housing questions that were asked, and there's one here from Christine in Texas, who is a single mom. She's on disability, and she owns her home and is looking to move from where she is in Texas to another location that's closer actually to the hospital and the treatment centers that she goes to because she's become very ill. So sorry to hear that, Christine. And the question is, how do I move? I don't have any financial resources. I'm very limited. I've got some equity in my home. Any ideas? So if anybody else has ideas on this, that would be fantastic because I have one idea that I did a little recon work on this in advance. So my best advice for Christine and others that are faced with the situation of moving, which I absolutely just avoid like the plague. It's no fun. Is to contact your local Center for Independent Living. And with the replay of this, I'll put a link in the show notes here that will direct you to your local Center for Independent Living. So I'll briefly explain what these organizations are and how they work. We've used them for years. They're government-funded organizations that are run usually by disabled, and they service the disabled and the elderly communities in your local area. Even in rural Vermont here, there's several throughout the state. And they are in tune with the local community and know the resources that are available. They do offer some services that would be something like counseling, transportation, Meals on Wheels, those types of services are provided by them. But they are really good and have been for us for helping members with low-cost, no-cost treatment options because they know all the clinics in the area. And for Christine and others that have this housing situation, to contact them about moving and say, just, I'm on Social Security disability, I have limited resources. Do you know of anybody that can help me make this move for me? So here is my word of advice for those that are going to contact your Center of Independent Living for any services for that matter. These guys are good, but they're busy and they're free. So for you to go in there and get somebody's attention, I strongly suggest you prepare and you know what you're talking about when you call them. So if you're looking for housing, here's an example. This is what worked. The top 3 things that you need to know. What your budget is, how much you can afford, where do you want to live, what areas are you willing to live, like your A area, your B area, and what type of housing configuration do you need? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, do you need accessible accommodations, do you need a first floor, can you do a second, third, fourth floor, like that. So, and then when you call them, have it in writing, have a little spec sheet, if you will, that's mapped out so you know what you're talking about. If you get on the phone, you're unorganized, you don't know any of these 3, I wouldn't even bother, frankly, because it's going to be really difficult for them to help you. So be planned, have it planned out and do that. So, and for One other thing on housing that we've seen work, and we have this available for members of the Disability Digest here. There's a members area. And it is a home share program. And these these operate differently in different parts of the U.S., but a home share program can benefit individuals watching this in two ways. Let's say you have a home that you're in now. You want to stay there. You've got an extra room. You want to make some extra money, or you need some help to stay in your home. Then you can contact your local home share program, and you can say, you know, I've got 1 or 2 bedrooms, or maybe I've got an efficiency in the basement or something like that, where somebody can come and stay in exchange for maybe some cash or some services around the house. Vice versa, if you're looking to get in. We've had people that have been able to score some really good places to live in prime spots in their local area, because, you know, they can't work a job, but they could play cribbage with somebody or bridge with somebody or lay out their medicine or pull the trash out to the end of the yard. They can do things like that. So the home share program there's a video or directory, shows you how to get involved. You go through a screening process when you meet with your local agency, whether you're putting your house up for option or whether you're looking to move into a house. So we've covered a couple different things here today. Okay, I'm referencing my phone because this is where the questions are. Oh, and thanks for those that have just joined us. If you have questions on the fly, please enter them in if time permits. I will gladly address those. Okay, here's a question from Fred. What do I do about doctor support if I get denied for work history? I was self-employed for 7 out of 10 years because of a stroke. Well, doctor support, for the reasons that we're going to talk about it, to get your disability or to keep your disability, it's not going to benefit you, from what I know, because you have a bigger issue, which is you haven't worked enough to qualify for a disability check. So there's 2 parts of this conversation here. One, the first thing that I would do is check with Social Security to find out how many work credits you do indeed have. So if you need 40 work credits and you're at 37, maybe you can figure out a way to earn, you know, $2,500 in 2 of the upcoming 4 quarters and get back in the range. Maybe. You need, you know, you can earn 1 credit per quarter, so you need to work more than that. You need to work full year to restore that. But for some people we've worked with, restoring their credits is doable, and it makes total sense. If you are looking at a disability check of maybe $1,500, $1,800 a month, for example, and you know that you've got to work and pick up 4 credits to get back in the game, is it worth it? I mean, somebody who is getting their disability benefits from the age of 50 on, if you look at the cash payout of, like, you know, $20,000 a year, and you're going to be on benefits till you're 66 and a half. I mean, it's like $170,000, $180,000 conservatively. I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. Can you do it? That I don't know either, but that's the first thing to look at. Second thing is, if your assets are below $2,500 as an individual or $3,200 as a couple, welfare, SSI might be an option for you. And if that is it, then treatment and the doctor's support tips that I'm going to go through for you today will be helpful. But check your work credits, understand where you're at, and what you would need to do. Okay. So let's see. Heidi has a question here. She says, what about the concern that if I work, they kick you off of benefits because they decide you can work? Well, Heidi, I gave you 2 quick tips in the reply to that, but I'm going to go into it a little bit more detail here because it is a concern for people that are looking to supplement their income. So the first thing is know the rules, and based on your comment, tells me you don't know the rules. And no offense, it's just facts. There's guidelines and laws out there. You just have to understand what they are and stay within them. And then number 2 is protect your benefits. So the first thing is, if you are on Social Security disability, the regulations are that you can earn up to $880 a month and keep your benefits. So that $880 a month is if you're working a job. And if you go over that, then you get into a bunch of different categories. You can do that for a few months on the trial work period. But as a general rule, it's best to keep your income below that so there aren't any flags that are raised. One of the things that people have done, doesn't happen often, is they just go out and they work and they don't know the rules and they're making $20,000 or $30,000 a year. Social Security goes through, does a benefit review, and they get kicked off of benefits. And it's the 1% of people that do that I feel have developed this massive consumer perception that you're not allowed to work and supplement your disability. So the second point on that is, if you are working as for yourself or an independent contractor and you're getting a 1099 as your tax status, then that $880 a month is your net after expenses. And if you are a disability recipient, there's a lot of workplace expenses that you can write off, in addition to your traditional, computer and your cell phone and your internet access and, any mileage that you have to do for your work-related items. So I think for anybody that is, looking to supplement their income, the best way, really, in my opinion, from a tax perspective and income dollar for dollar, is to try to do something that you can do on your own. From what we've found out here since 2007, when we really started getting this business going, most of this business has been run from its out in front presence, if you will, or people doing phone work, has been run by those that are disability recipients that come here and work and supplement their income. So, and nobody's gone to jail yet, including me, and so we know the rules, we stay within them, and it's perfectly fine. You do need to report all of your income. Just do everything, straight up within the guidelines. All right. So I hope that helps you out. Oh, I'm going to talk about protecting your benefits too, and then I'll get on to doctor support. So the second piece of this is protecting your benefits if you are a disability recipient, and there's been reviews that are becoming more and more common now for Social Security. And if you want to know or don't know what a review is, just simply look at your disability award letter, dig it out of wherever it is, and it'll say you're never going to be reviewed, or you're sometimes going to be reviewed, like every 6 months is probably the most frequent. But it's usually like 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 years, and understand where it is. And some people have that, but they just never get reviewed. But they're becoming more and more common. So some of the keys, reference to Heidi's comment here, is make sure you stay in treatment. And the doctor's information I'm going to share with you will definitely be of value. And not only stay in treatment, but do the best you can to be the best you that you can be and take advantage of all of your treatment options. One of the tips that we've shared lately that has become popular is disability recipients that are on Medicare can get access to free plans called Medicare Advantage plans that have a host of additional benefits in them. And one of those benefits is the Silver Sneakers. Commonly, it's a free gym membership where people can go to the gym, and I'm not suggesting that you need to go there and push up a bunch of free weights, but you can go there for walking, you can go there for water therapy, you can go there for different classes that they have, for yoga, for different things that you can do to become the best you that you can be. So in the event that a disability review comes along, you're doing your doctor's support, you're going to your doctors, right? Definitely keep that up. You're taking advantage of the programs that are within your Medicare bucket of benefits and using that to do it. So we had somebody contact us the other day that lives in Florida. It's actually the second time this has happened. She said, it's so hot in Florida. I want to exercise and do something, but in the summer it's really difficult. So I want to get a Silver Sneakers membership so I can go down to the gym and do some laps on the track and just get out and stretch my legs. So simple like that. Okay, so I want to talk about doctor support. And I'm going to speak to those of you that are going through the disability process and then kind of tie it into those of you that are on benefits. This is I would say, one of the most difficult things to do going through the disability approval process, and can be an issue for those being able to keep their benefits, because doctors are becoming more and more reluctant to fill out paperwork for disability situations, you know, whether it's a review or whether it's a residual functional capacity report, which is what the industry calls these reports that take like 7 minutes for a doctor to fill out, but they really don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because of time. They make up other excuses, like they say it's their company policy. So what that does is it puts applicants for disability and in a difficult situation, because doctors' support is really critical. So and we have released a full-length 55-minute interview with industry expert Carl Osterhel on this, but I'm going to hit some of the highlights for you here, and then in the show notes you'll have access to it. But one of the challenges is for Social Security, when they look in the medical records of somebody that's being treated, they're looking for indications that there's limitations, because the limitations meaning that you can't sit, you're not able to stand, you're not able to lift, you're not able to put your arms above your head, you can't lift a gallon of milk, things like that. So if your treatment records and your doctor's visits just show that you have conditions and tired, fatigued, in pain, general, very generic comments like that, it's difficult for Social Security to make any determination on that, right? And in addition to that, although you may have those limitations, they're not willing to fill out the residual functional capacity report. So my message to everybody is you need to change your mindset and how you communicate with your doctor, like right away. And the reason why is you want to communicate to them what needs to go into your medical records to show that you have limitations, you still have limitations, you're going to have limitations for a while. So an example of that would be somebody that has like chronic pain. And if they have chronic pain from, I'll use a condition like fibromyalgia, an autoimmune condition, or lupus has the same thing, similarities with MS, where people are not able to sit or stand. So when we speak with these individuals and are helping them through the disability process, the common language that we hear is, I have fibromyalgia, I have IBS, I have depression, I have anxiety, I'm not able to sleep, those 5 things, which are unfortunate, but that doesn't help me if I'm speaking to them, or a doctor, or Social Security know what the limitations are. So when you change that and say, you know, I'm not able to stand, last month since I saw you, I'm not able to stand for more than 15 minutes at a time. and when I do, I get this shooting pain right, in my lower back, and I've got to adjust. I've got to sit down for like 20 minutes, and then I can get back up and I do it again, and maybe I can walk 20 feet, and then that pain, it just gets active again. So then you watch your doctor start to write the notes, right? Because most doctors will keep notes, and they'll put those specific restrictions in there. And then, if you were to do a sink full of dishes for 2 people, and you are you're suffering from a condition like this, and you look at it, and there's plates in there, and there's cups, and there's silverware in there. A common situation is that somebody is going to have to do that in increments. Like, they'll do the plates, and they'll maybe sit down on the stool, they'll come back, do the cups and the silverware. If it was me, I'd leave it all, but somebody's got to do it. And they break it down that way. So when you talk to your doctors like this, and it goes into your notes, and then Social Security comes through and they're reading and say, oh, geez, 15 minutes sit, 20 minutes stand, only sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night, cannot remember repetitive tasks because of the brain fog. Then you are creating, you're controlling your own destiny is what you're doing, and being able to get that information into your treatment records. Don't take this lightly, folks. I mean, so many people out there don't get approved for their disability, and the most important thing, you can listen to me or John Ginsberg or talk with anybody in this industry, is they have got to be able to see that there is a consistent treatment pattern, and you're being treated, and the limitations, despite the fact that you're being treated, prevent you from being able to do any job out there. That's it. So how does that work for people that are on disability? It puts you in a lock knowing that you've got good evidence with your doctors in the event of a disability review. They can look at your medical records, and you would have the confidence to say that I've got this taken care of, right? Most people, when they get those letters for disability reviews, they freak out. Phones ringing, emails coming in here, and so there's a course here that will help you if you get stuck on that, but the first round of it's pretty simple. But if you don't, if you get stuck there, just contact support if you're a member here at the Disability Digest. And if you're not, we invite you to come join us as a member, and we can help you through that. So that is the deal with the doctor's support. So these are the few things that I wanted to cover here today. I believe that I've covered everything that I wanted to cover for today's show today, and I'm going to, again, I'll put the replay, will be put in the Facebook group here. If you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be up there as well, and I'll put the housing information, the doctor support information will all be listed underneath there. So in closing, I want to thank you for your time, for your attention, for your questions. Keep them coming. We will keep doing these shows. This is fun to do. If you are not a member here at the Disability Digest, we invite you to come join us here at thedisabilitydigest.com. Or if you have questions or you're a member, you can text us at 484848. That is the number 4 and the number 8, and you do that 3 times. Just say, I need disability help, I need housing help, I need this, I need that. We'll do our best to accommodate you. So listen, I appreciate you folks as an audience here, and I just want to give you my quick explanation and commercial why. We don't charge for the work that we do here. We never have since we started. We're like a radio or TV station. Now, we're a for-profit, don't get me wrong, and we make money, but we do it by not charging you for your membership because we have sponsorship. We have ads on some of our websites and our videos that you'll see, but it allows us to help you out. We've helped over around 10,000 people that we've helped go through the disability approval process. We've learned a lot from that, and we have a strategy and a course that helps them go through. So if you're looking to go through the disability approval process and you have not talked to your advocate here, I'd get on the phone with them right away and help them out. For healthcare, we've helped people save a bunch of money lately on healthcare. We're working in just a few states right now, but if you've been contacted about healthcare and you're spending even like, you know, even if you're not spending any money a month, we've found plans in certain areas that have up to 11 different benefits that people don't know about. Some of those are like free household items that you can get that are tucked away in the bottom of plans, and people might even have these plans but they're not using them, or the free gym membership that I mentioned. So there's different things that we are really excited to help you either get or maximize your disability benefits. So thank you for being a member here. If you like the work that we do, we certainly hope you do. Invite others to come join us. So we would certainly appreciate that. And if you don't like the work that we do, or that I do, or somebody told me I didn't dress right the other week, I get it, that's fine. Can't please everybody, but we'd certainly like your comments so we know what we can do to improve on the work here. So make it a great day. This has been Brian Terry, and until the next time, thank you very much.